Let's go. Zugu.
Yeah.
Oh man, Zugu. I don't know where to start. Let me just I'll let you start, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna set it up, and I'm just gonna let you run with it. I'm just gonna sit here.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what happened? I'm gonna start.
Wait up. Don't start yet. When I say go, you go. We can start right now. Okay. So Zugu, this is what it is, right? With Kanabis versus Amor that we just saw. Amor sound from Israel. Kanabis sound from Antigua. We're talking about you had a student. Let's say this, you're like you had a student and you're the professor. And your student had a big test. The first test he passed with flying colors, right? But he came back, he did another exam. And I want to know your thoughts on Kanabis performance, no Jing Serato, clap.
First thing first, let me say respect to Kanabis for doing such a wonderful job and for representing Antigua and Barbuda. We can't leave out Barbuda. The next thing is the first clash that he went on by himself. I think that was one of the questions that you asked me. How do I think he would represent playing by himself? He was in New York and he had to play by himself. Jelly Belly wasn't there. In the comments, I saw people saying different things. In me as the teacher now, because him called me teacher. Me as a teacher, me would have said to myself, he missed Jelly Belly on the first run, But what him do to pass, he keep pushing himself. And as I told you before in our first interview, the man loved music. So because him loved music so much, he pushed himself so much that him got over the hump. There was a hill in the first clash, and he keep pushing, and the vehicle keep running back, and he keep trying to come out a third, go in a second gear, and try to make a softer gear to go over the hill, and it wasn't going. And he just decided, you know what? I gotta push first gear and skate over the hill. And he pushed the first gear, got over the hill, then he made the second, made the third. And then after you make third gear and fourth gear, you kind of rally off now, you're on a plane. That's what he did in the first clash. Me give him that. In this clash, versus Amar, there was no humps. There was no hills. There was no valleys. There was nothing for him to try and maneuver around. Because you know why? He was free. He had his selector.
He
felt free.
He was home.
He felt nice.
He was
felt easy going.
He was home.
He was home. Right? He had the whole of Atas people them there in the road. Much people, community was there pushing it. He changed. Right now, Kanabis is changing the face of online clash. No Jing Bang clash. The rules and the way how them set it is also changing the face of how online clash is being presented to the patrons who love Sound Clash, to the Sound Clash enthusiasts. Sitting there watching that, the way how them set up the rules, enough respect to the people them who put this clash together. Whosoever put this No Jing Bang clash together, they're doing a wonderful job. Kanabis now has set it to a different level, where him get his whole community to come out, them a blow a horn, and I've never seen that on a live yet. I've never seen that. So far, everybody's in them like a bedroom, in them like a front room, in them like a dish room. The man take it to the road, call people there with them horn, and him have it like a live thing. That's a different level. So for me, it was very, 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 very easy going for me. Me sit down there easy, and me I bun me spliff, and me I say, John, no, that youth here, him remind me of myself.
You were just telling me, like he reminded you about yourself. What about yourself that you saw in him that reminded me of like a young Zugu now?
His resilience, never giving up, and it don't matter. Like some of these sounds he's playing against, they can play almost everything. They can play almost every artist. When I was coming up between Exorcist and Stonewall, I couldn't play any artist. You had Stonewall play half pint, Exorcist play Dennis Brown. We couldn't play them artists. But that never held us back from pushing and want to go win. And that's what we see in Kanabis. He want to win, and he don't care who the sound is, what you have in your box, what you're gonna play, how much chat you have. how much big dub you have to prove to him you can beat him.
Because he's gonna beat you with what he has in his box. You may think that, yo, that's a regular tune, but that's just a regular tune to you, but to him, that's his big tune, and he put every sense of energy and make you believe this is a big tune, and he just bust that tune.
Now, look at the Javelani customs.
Before we get to Javelani, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Because I want to really emphasize and talk about the first round and the second round. Not in detail, but I want to talk a little bit to say, yo, that first round there and the second round was a very good round from Amor. They were very strong, especially the second round from Amor. Amor murdered the second round. It was a it wasn't like Amor didn't play good the first round or the second. Amor played very well. Good. He dropped, his second round, you could see he was giving it that extra effort because he realized he was behind. He started squeezing Buju, 5 black cartel in a row. He knew he needed to win the second round. So he gave that push. And remember, he's playing first.
Yeah.
And he's squeezing the second round.
He did squeeze out the second round.
So you could see that sense of urgency that reality had.
Yes. It knocked home to Amor, I have to play different in the second round because this guy ain't no Jing bang. Kanabis is not no Jing bang song where you can just feel like me can just walk over him. So he go way in because I think Amor was watching the chat. And in the chat was, I think that was the craziest chat me ever see in an online clash.
He was making adjustments. He had to
make adjustments because, as I said, the way he was playing first round, because he was playing first, Kanabis had the chance to answer. So when he saw how Kanabis came back, he realized, nah, I can't. I have to go into second round harder. So him start press out some big heavy songs.
Some
exclusive ones.
And then Kanabis came back and he started, because Kanabis called him out. Amor's a juggling son. They're juggling bad. They juggle.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you just run into a war sound. Now we could juggle too. But we're a war sound, but we could juggle too. Sir. And he called him out and the top. No, that's not how you kill Clash. I'm gonna play the Cableton Buju that Kanabis started with. And then it ended with the hang them up high. All right?
Right.
So now we go to Kanabis' second round, the top of his second round, how he started.
Because you can't kill sound like that.
You can't kill sound like that. That is a jiggy juggling.
You can't come from Israel.
You have 2 minutes.
One of them man from ISIS will just see you and shot you. You're pussy. When you talk about dark,
man from ISIS will kill you.
Hear song.
Kanabis! Boy, disrespect can get one of this. Motherfucking niggas should know they must. Johnny Guap, motherfucking niggas drop wap.
This sound system is big. Mario, my dog. Still
yo, something dead boy.
Who them not talk too much. The bounty killer and bunch of bands in a combination. Now that thing, man. Run him, man. Rodney Price coming dance
my
now.
dog, Mario, Jelly Belly, Stingers.
You know why you got dead today? Listen to the combination, yeah. That is bigger than your whole box.
Kanabis sound. Murder them.
Missing Kanabis.
Oh, respect, disrespect. In our aspect, some sort of who them are dealing with them. Stop actions. Oh, respect, disrespect. In every aspect, so no who them are dealing with.
1 minute left.
That's your idiot bounty killer, you're a playboy. When you clash Kanabis, let me tell you. Bounty!
Man, from the actors, you know.
Yeah, when nigga shoot you.
Jungle man. Why don't come boy with your gun? Shoot them and prove say you're bad. Kanabis.
Hey man, you're pussy. You're not ready.
Yo, Kanabis.
Jungle Jesus.
Alright, then tell them off the Kanabis.
Alright. You come from Israel. So you what gonna do? Me now put you in a hole. Hear that song, yeah.
Johnny Guap, what am I doing? Chat them a chat. When I play with me,
you're not going in a hole, boy.
Corruption and evil.
You're not going in a hole.
Watch out. Skin them up, burn them up, bad life. Who don't turn up this with them and try the pride.
Yeah.
What was your impression of that dub and how it started and how it finished?
No, you see, Kanabis is a sound that understands that when you're matching dubs and putting dubs together, you gotta go for certain artists. And he learned that throughout the time coming up in Antigua. Sounds in Antigua, them cut dubs different, you know. If you notice, the American sounds, the Jamaican sounds, the European sounds, they have a way of cutting dubs. Kanabis now is pressing to be one of the top sounds out of Antigua to cut special dubs that can become anthems.
Antiguan style.
Antiguan style. That's when I heard how he put those dubs together, I realized now he's on the way now to prove to the world that Antiguan sounds know how to cut dub plates. Not just the regular major mackerel, not just the regular sounds, dubs them that you can just go put together and cut. He can go back. Look at what he did. Bounty Killer. Him go for Bounty Killer and match it. Then go for Capleton and match it. Him go for Buju and match it.
Keep going. Because to me, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the way when the Capleton came in, but it came on in a different rhythm.
Yeah. He's showing, that's what I'm telling you, he's showing that Antiguans know how to cut dubs for sound clash. Yeah, so he can Kanabis can cut dubs for juggling. He can put a set of dubs together and juggle a dance. But when it comes to a clash where the world is watching, and he knows Amar has dubs. He knows Amar ain't no joke sound. So he went into the box definitely to prove something. Kanabis was proving a point. Yeah? And him pass. In my book, him pass. With those set of dubs that you just played a while ago, he proved that he's up on a stage now where people can say that sound is a sound to look for.
This was supposed to be a custom war. And if we had a custom war, Kanabis won the custom war. Speaking of custom, I'm going to play the Javelani. You ready?
Buckler gunman sound system. Turn them jump on in a sound victim. You know the badness go. One government, me I say stingers, me I say mad.
Be a custom pussy.
Me I say Antigua, me I say Graves Farm, me I say Green Beer, me I say Clear All, me I say Johnson.
What time it be?
This sound.
What time it be?
Made with the Pan Thompson. Kanabis kill Amar 530. I5 ya go dead cause your name pussy. In a no Jing bang them a get buried. When son boy fi dead we spend money. Ear careful a shot so we bust it in a nose. Kill Amar and turn him in a ghost. The pussy them no bad like Kanabis sound. Alright, make we take 3 coffee pan alone. Yeah. The reality cause the pussy love chat. Father Amar is a big idiot. Hey Walchi, tell me how that is a tin pan son or a Jing bang that. Pussy a go dead and we don't care. Antigua we from and we don't play. EMR take shot in your head now. Cause you can't rule Israel all day. From Saturday to Sunday a clash we say. Be a kill tomorrow and kill.
Time.
Yo, yeah, me ask now. I kill his
Time.
Yo, Kanabis son.
Time.
Wow.
Time.
Wow.
Time. This might be the most fire emojis in a chat I've ever seen in my life. So, Crisco Shades. Me I say fire emoji, I turn up. Walsh is speechless. Matty is speechless.
Yeah. What the second round?
Trust me, honestly speaking, I was speechless too when I heard it. But I wasn't surprised because as from our previous interview, I told you, the man knows how to rewrite a song for any round. He can take a song that some people would use in a first round and he can play it back in a third round or a second round, but he's going to rewrite it especially for that round. So what happened right there, Amar ran into that. Amar ran right up into that dub plate there. They have to put respect on his name after the Javelani dub. Him said it. Him said it. You got to put respect on Kanabis name now. That Javelani dub, if you don't put no respect on Kanabis name now, you're not really into the sound clash thing. You're just a bystander.
They're all speechless. 2-0 Kanabis.
2-0. So when Amar was pressing out his second round, blah, 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 blah. Kanabis knew all I had to do was play one dub. Because Kanabis already studied, this man have cartel, this man have a ton of buju, this man have a ton of this, he have a ton of dubs. Me I gotta use one and write him off. Kanabis knows that it can be done. He knows he can use one dub and write the round off. But he has to do it in the right time. It's not just playing the dub. He has to play it the right time. He couldn't play that Jabalani no other time but that time. Right there at that time where he played, that was the perfect time he played the Jabalani.
Because there's no question after somebody squeeze off 5 Black Cartel who win a round.
Thank you. Right? That just turned around. So now the people them who are in the chat now was like, whoa, what did I just hear a while ago? Kill sound on Sunday, kill sound today.
Not much change in the third round for Amar.
No, it didn't change much. Amar didn't give up. He knew he has still had more pressing to do. But as I told you, Kanabis, in his first clash, he had hills and valleys. Amar now started to have hills and valleys now in the third round. The third round, because after me play so wicked in the second round, and this man come and destroy in the second round, and actually use one dub, and have the whole place upturned, even the judges have said, blow-o. Amar now started to say blow-o to himself. After the second round with that Jabalani dub, when it went to the third round, that round was the round with the special artists, right?
All females.
All female artists. When you reach that round there, can't you see what Kanabis was doing?
Tell me, what was he doing?
He was basically showing Amar a bit of how Antigua people play music. He exposed Antigua in the third round, in that female artist round. He played some dubs that some song wouldn't even go for.
I'm gonna play it right now, and his speech, 3 45s, 2 dub plate.
2 dub plates.
2 Vanessa Bling.
Yes.
Lady Saw, 1 Shensia,
yes.
1 Shensia. Yes. I'm gonna roll it right now, and let's give it a chance to breathe a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Yes,
I hear how I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you with 345 and speech and 2 dub plate. When I ask Father Amar why Hi-Fi now selected it, hear Father Amar say.
One man me say.
That a one. Father Amar, you know Bex that Hi-Fi now select today?
Thank you, Jesus. Me get rid of the boy there. Get rid of the boy there. In my process and my life. Amen.
Wait! You know bad. You know bad for Kanabis. When my ask Father Amar, so how you feel that Hi-Fi now select today? Hear what he say?
Hit him late, and on my pussy. Hit him late.
You know bad. You're not bad, here tune boy.
Boy, Ashensia representing for Kanabis sound. Hey, I want to some dirty sound boy. Boy can't see I start problem. Them a girl clown so we walk on them. Stingers to chat but him a want them.
Respect Kanabis.
Kanabis and them. Now fight no man over no girl we no idiot. Some boy can't fuck them a eat that. Them see Kanabis a street and pass and whisper to friend if I weed that. If a boy violate jelly belly I go beat that. And if Stingers take your girl him a keep that. Johnny go up take.
Hold on. You bad? Eh? Me send my selector go up and joint and tell you make me one kill you this round here. When me tell you make me one kill.
Ashensia representing for Kanabis sound. Well high. A real thing.
You know not tune for walk Kanabis. Shensia kill him.
Sonia man. Sound dead in the morning. Them can't wake up. Kanabis take them life. Fuck round stingers. You are go dead.
Bombo.
Yo, the man go crazy zoom.
Matia, that's around the match I hit you with 2 bomber clots.
The Shensia was crazy.
Zugu. He said, my selector gonna go roll a spliff and I'm gonna deal with you this round by myself. You see how the way he touched the Antigua flag?
Yes. Energy time now. The selector not there. Go roll a split. Let me write him off now by myself. He was confident. To me, he was very confident that round. He already knew he have Amar where he want to put Amar. So
he
Kanabis
was
was very confident
when he says 5:35. Amar done dead. That was the end of the second round. That was a Javelin.
Yes. He was already confident from right there. He knew he have it. All him have to do now, a cruise. So him cruise by himself. Send a selector for the man them start style Amar now. Send a selector for roll a spliff and me alone will kill him.
That pull-up started about here. This pull-up started about here.
Yeah.
And by the time it come here.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
No, and the Shenseea, he played it the perfect time.
Timing
was very key for Kanabis in this clash. The way he placed the dubs, that was key for him. Because if he didn't play them in the right order, it wouldn't have sounded like how the response that he got, he wouldn't have got that kind of response. Especially what I saw in the chat.
Zugo, I was ready to vote after the third round. I didn't think we need to go further.
You was ready to vote after the third round.
I was ready to vote after the third round.
After the second round was done with the Javelani, I said, Kanabis, you're done with the clash. When I see him play the round, the all-female round, I say, well, hey, there we go now. That's it. It's a wrap.
I was ready to vote.
Then, when him go into the tune for tune, and Amar starts saying, all you talk about a man room and man this and man that, me realize Amar starts straying now. So now, all Kanabis had to do was to continue cruising. Don't change, continue cruise. And he did exactly that. Continue to cruise with the dub plates them. No rush, no fuss. And the first two songs, he started to dig the hole. Then when he played the Barrington, Amar said, I play every regular song. What the young US song them I play. He said, all right, me I play every regular song. Amar run go play a regular song and Kanabis use a next regular song and start beat him again. Then that's where Kanabis started to dig the hole much deeper now. You see, after the first 4 songs in Tune for Tune, it was a wrap. For me. After the 4 first songs, first 3, me start to realize that's it. Amar not going to be able to cover to get over Kanabis as much. Whereas we know it's all about the votes that make you win. It's not like a live dance where people are blow them horn and you can look into the dance and say, all right, it's more Kanabis or it's more Amar. You're looking in the chat, and in the chat, from what I was seeing, Amar didn't stand a chance.
I scored that 4-1 to Kanabis. Amar gave some speeches, and then he went and drew a regular tune.
Exactly.
Warrior King. Those speeches, I expected a much better dub for dub from Amar, because I know they have bigger tunes. They win the Joseph Hill. When Kanabis took him to the Maxi Priest.
Yes, because he went Jaja see them a come. Amar went Jaja see them a come. And Kanabis said,
that's as far they got. That's as far they got. Give him that point.
When he went there. But then now Kanabis said, me I gotta show you how it work now. Tune for tune, me I gotta show you how it work. Kanabis learned so much through these online clashes.
In a short period of time.
Such a short period of time that me have to give it up to him and say he has learned up a lot and he improvised. Now he's improvising and changing his place, knowing where to put dubs and where not to put them. Right now he's on his game.
I'm gonna run one more clip, my last clip, because this is the first tune. This is the Baritone Levy, right?
And the tune for tune.
Yes, this is the Kanabis first tune. And it's not, you just watch Amar's facial expression. He's huffing and he's puffing and he's blowing. It's like a bar fight. You ever see some young tuggy beat up an old, a guy in a bar, like an old school bar fight? Like they just start in the bar, they come out to the street fight, and this old Goomba just got beat up in the club by 2 young cats. Amar's face just looked defeated.
His facial expression changed.
I'm gonna run the clip because he's huffing and puffing. And you just watch his face and you see what went down. Here we go.
That song you talk about the whole class since it started.
You know what's the big bad sound, Kanabis sound? Mario.
Here, old man, play tune for tune, boy.
Stingers, Mad Dog, Antigua, New York, stay so. Kill it. Kanabis. Tell them this.
This tune you talk about the class since it started.
Who are them a cook up and whatever them.
You see you reality?
Like this. Say them a try, but tonight them a go dead. Yes, tonight. Now some boy I go dead.
ZUGULUSS. Reality just looked beat. He
Yes, his facial expression changed and he started to walk around his room. He started to walk in and out of the frame of the camera. Give up. It's done. That clip that you draw a while ago, showing his facial expression, that's enough to tell you exactly what happened there when he reached tune for tune, when he saw how Kanabis still had the kind of dubs left. I don't know if it was a surprise to Amar, but something looked like it surprised him.
I think Amar run into an Antiguan Mastiff.
Well, he did, because obviously he thought that it was a walkover. I think for him,
He underestimated Kanabis.
He underestimated Kanabis. He thought it was a walkover, and he thought that maybe he would have heard some more regular liquor dubs, you know, Kanabis
and speech
and regular speech, but he didn't hear that, and that's why I think, as you said, after the first 3 rounds, you was ready to vote.
Kanabis said something. Kanabis said, "I'm gonna kill you with speech." Kanabis' speeches, especially his speech he made at the top of the second round, ISIS should shot you for the way you're playing.
Yeah.
And then Kanabis says, "I'm gonna kill it with speech." Kanabis' speech was so precision. He's like, the song owner, Father Amar, the selector, and you reality. His speeches, where each speech he said was directed at a particular place. And
yes.
The tune and the rhythm were fire.
Yes. Kanabis could not play a better clash than last night. He could not play much better. I think that's where he is at his top of his game. And let me tell you this. You asked me in our first interview, how would I think he would perform by himself? I think you can now balance it out and say he's better with a selector. I think now you can say that.
With a selector, Kanabis, you have 2 top selector, young shooters, and a wicked MC in Kanabis.
And the way how he set up his live that afternoon, it was perfect. Like there was no mistakes. There was no mistakes.
That's family.
Everything was on point. The way how he played, the position he set up, the position the camera was in, the position that the live went, how everything went, it went straight up into Kanabis' alley. Right up his alley.
Shot the Wi-Fi kick. I know Amo was in trouble then. So, you know, when he showed that flow, big up flow to the Wi-Fi kick. Because, you know,
yes.
Wi-Fi kick, he knows he doesn't have to worry about the juggling. Because, you know, Jelly Belly going to squeeze, the juggling, the time is going to be on point. Not in the chip.
When he said that, remember me of the verses with Beanie Man and Bounty when Bounty Killer said about Digicel and Flow. That remind me.
Flow a kick.
Yeah. So big up to Sister Soldiers. We can't leave her out. Sister Soldiers, she has been going hard for the sound system fraternity and the sound class fraternity in Antigua. Kudos to Sister Soldiers. And big up to Kanabis on the win. He played good. He played a superb clash. All the rounds was superb. As I said, second round, Amar, you went on a different level. You really pushed to show us, yo, you're not playing against no equal idiot sound. The way how Amar played second round, it showed me he knew that he can't underestimate Kanabis no more from here going onwards. From second round, he realized I can't underestimate this guy no more.
He got underestimation done. Whatever game plan he had, if he had one, was went out the door at the end of the second round. If he had one.
Out the door, second round. Perfectly said. Out the door, second round. Because I think that's when he started to dig up his box. Yeah, he started to dig up his box, and maybe that changed a lot for him because he had to dig up his box.
That explained an awful third round.
That explained the third round. Yes. Yes, he lost it. He lost it during the third round. He lost it. Because I think right there and then he started to tell himself, I wonder if this guy have more customs. So he started to, maneuver different. So I think that, you see how one custom can change a clash? One dub can change a clash. So some people would, that's why I'm going to tell you, Kanabis always says Zugu. He always says, Zugu, me no worry about how much dub a sound has. Because he can write over one dub and destroy your box. Make it start fiddle. And that's what Amar start doing. Amar start fiddling after the second round with that Jabulani. He start fiddling.
The Antigua Mastiff. Antigua Mastiff tear a piece out of him.
Yes. So now, for Amar, he telling himself, fuck, Antigua, that sounded from Antigua. Me have to start put respect on them name now. And a lot of people in the chat were saying, yo, Kanabis, yo, you surprised me. So Kanabis surprised a lot of people playing last night. Now he's into the finals.
He didn't surprise me because I've been telling folks like, yo, when it's your time, and no matter what you do. When the stars line up, the stars line up. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know.
It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So let me end it off. Then have a grudge match next week. Then have then the next following week is going to be the clash.
Yes.
They give Kanabis too much time. He has now enough time to dismantle Tech 9 because it's an online clash. This is not a clash where we're in a dance now. So you can bring your little fans them for blow a hand. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Tech 9 has ever had the reputation of bringing fans to blow hand.
Well, I mean, every sound have that in their corner. You have your little fan base, but you don't have that right now in this online clash.
Well, what have we seen in a lot of these online clashes, Zugu, and sorry to cut you off, is this new generation of sound clashes, this new generation who grew up online clashes and they grew up on Facebook, they are beating the hell out of these old men and these old sounds. These old sounds, and when I say old sounds, I'm not talking about old sounds. My selector, my number one shooter, Olga, got his ass handed to him by Mystical Sound.
Yeah.
From Israel. Mystical Sound. Yeah. Mystical Sound and Olga. Olga's not an old sound. Olga's a new sound. Olga is a new generation sound. But if you're out the loop, you're out the loop. And when you're out the loop, there's nothing gonna save you from this new generation, these young cats.
Underestimation. You can't underestimate these young sounds. You know what's happening now? The young sound is utilizing the platform. This time off. This is like a break. COVID is like a break to the clash world
to the
and
whole
to the
world,
dance.
To everybody. Like sit back and
to everybody. So a lot of people is getting a little time off. Nobody can travel. Nobody can tour to do no clash. Nobody can go move around. All right, cool, no problem. So as you said, the veteran sound are the more established sounds. Them are relaxed now and say, all right, let me go on easy. Yeah. The young sound them say, all right, go on, relax. Take your break. Let me use this opportunity that you're taking your break to fill that gap. So that gap, that the established sound left there, that little gap there, here comes the young songs that nobody's not hearing much about, taking up that space. If this COVID thing goes into next year, that's a lot of months. The young song
it's going to go into next year. Let me mute the mic. It's going into next year.
Well, if it goes into next year, the young sound them is utilizing that gap to promote and market themselves. So for some people who think, oh, let me just relax until COVID done, that's a mistake you just make, because the young sound them now capitalize on it. So you have new fans that you maybe had with your old sound or your veteran sound or your established sound. You have some fans now that's gone from you to these new sounds, to these younger generation sounds.
Zugu, I'm going to say my final word, and then I'm going to give you the final word. I think the happiest individual in the sound clash world right now, besides Stinger, is King Vawa from Canada. Because King Vawa is saying, boy, I'm glad that wasn't me.
Oh, God. I don't think you can put it any more better than that, Virgin. Brian, trust me, You know what? I have to give kudos to you for what you're doing here with this interviews. These short script interviews that you're doing right now for the No Jing Band Clash. I don't know how you came up with it, but it's working. And a lot of people is looking into it and say, boy, may I feed off of the information I'm getting from these interviews. Because somebody linked me from the first one we did and said, yo, you say some things in that and we never know these things about cannabis. So it's working. When somebody can link you forward and tell you, yo, me hear you say some things, or me hear Brian say some things, or some questions that me hear him shoot, yo, he's onto something. Of course you are onto something. And I gotta compliment you and said, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep doing it. And trust me, don't turn left or right. Just keep pushing, make it go, make it plain, make it plain off. Yeah, make it keep going off. Don't twist left, don't twist right. Just keep pushing on where you're pushing on right now.
ZUGULUSS, I appreciate that, and I thank you. ZUGULUSS is 20 years in the making, ZUGULUSS. I ain't gonna lie to you. It didn't happen yesterday. It's 20 years. It's 20 years, and I give thanks. ZUGULUSS, we got 2 weeks. I need a vacation.
Go relax. Drink some wine.
You can't see me, but I'm telling you what's behind me. It's the sea, the sun, and the sand.
Yes, I
go cool off.
Yeah.
And we're gonna look forward to a final. And we're gonna see what happens.
Tech 9 versus Kanabis. Kanabis 3 rounds to 1. 3-1 in my get.
The Antigua Mastiff.
Antigua Mastiff. Floor kick. Internet a kick.
Floor kick. Flow. Write a check. Zugo.
We talk, Brian. We talk. Keep it going.
Bless up.